This is the knockout artist, Chris Hero. And if you're looking for some true heel heat, you better listen to them boys.
It's Saturday morning, and you know what that means. It's time for some Tru Heel Heat. It is Forbidden Door weekend. We're going to be talking about all the wrestling news. Thankfully, the wrestling news calmed down a bit this week, but we got so much to talk about heading into the big show in Chicago, Illinois, AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling. We got the NJPW expert as our special guest. We got Top Guy JJ and Miss Krssi Luv returning. So let's get to it. Hello. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom SP3. We are live on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for Tru Heel Heat 181. It was forbidden for a reason, discussing the latest wrestling news, including another major injury sidelines a top star for Forbidden Door. Triple H is back at WWE Performance Center. Kushida is back in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Recap of all the weekly shows from Impact Slammiversary, 2 shows for GCW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, New Japan Road, AEW and WWE, and of course, preview and predictions for AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling's Forbidden Door pay-per-view. Of course, I am back with the beautiful, the lovely Miss Krssi Luv.
Good morning, everybody. Hello.
Hey,
Good
boo.
morning. Hey, friends. I don't know how I should feel right now after this country's such a shit show. But hello, guys. I'm so happy to see you guys. This country's is trash, but I love you guys. I'm happy to see you. Welcome. Hey, friends in the chat. It's Saturday. Yay.
I always get a weekly reminder that I'm better off probably still in the UK, but thank you, Krssi. We're here to bring people some happiness and a distraction from all that mess out there.
Yes, wrestling will give you that, friends.
And we are back with the returning man of 1,004 drinks, the candle maker himself, Top Guy JJ.
Even though he has lotions behind him right now and sprays.
This is actually my lotion collection, and a little snippet behind me. My shit is back there though. But yeah, man, what a way to follow that up, man. Listen, man, I just want to take this 2 hours or whatever time we got and just be kind of like distraction free from all of the shit that we're seeing on our media screens and on our TVs, because this world is a shit show right now. But I'm with y'all for the next 2 hours. So let's fucking rock out with our cocks out. And I don't want to use what I don't want to say what you use.
Thanks.
Well, there you go. And we have a very special guest with us. We had to bring in an expert when it comes to New Japan Pro Wrestling. He is a content creator, the man I go to whenever I need some information on New Japan Pro Wrestling. I just hit up his account because he's always posting about NJPW. He is the host of Noob Japan over on the Wrestle In. He is the host of the New Japan Pro Wrestling podcast over on Fightful Overbooked. He is Ciaran. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, man. I'm excited to be here. Thanks for that amazing introduction. Lots of exciting New Japan stuff at the moment. Of course, Forbidden Door, man. Let's fucking go.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go. And put some respect on Jushin Thunder Liger in the background. Put some respect on it.
That's
raise the roof. I love that. I love that. I need that for my kids for sure. But thank you so much for joining us. Please, I try my best to do these introductions, but please let the people know all the great things you are doing and why I'm calling you this NJPW expert, because really, man, you are so knowledgeable when it comes to New Japan, when it comes to the history of Japanese wrestling. I love your this day of in wrestling history when it comes to Japanese wrestling. So please let the people know everything you're doing.
I think you hit the mark, man. Just on my Twitter, yeah, I do on this day match gifts, stuff that happened on this day in years past. Try and make it as knowledge, like provide knowledge as much as possible. Over at Wrestle In, I've got the Noob Japan podcast. Every episode, we just put a spotlight on a different wrestler from Japan, past, present.
Beautiful.
Talk about who they are. You know, we've done one on Konsuke Takeshita, and of course, he's taking AEW by fucking storm at the moment. You know, lots of Joshi wrestlers and stuff because they deserve all the spotlight in the world. And yeah, recently, along with Matt from Shining Wizards podcast, joined the Fightful Overbooked team, and where we're covering all things New Japan. Yeah, New Japan, basically.
Love to hear it. And I always ask this usually when we get to that portion, but I want to ask beforehand, what is your relationship with the rest of the wrestling world, with WWE, AEW? Are you just like privy to it from social media, or do you happen to like catch maybe AEW now that they're doing the show with Forbidden Door? What's your relationship with the other major promotions?
I don't know a fucking thing about WWE. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who's doing what.
I like him already.
Now.
I like him already. I like him already. He's already approved by Tru Heel Heat.
AEW, I don't watch it. You know, I'll keep up with it. Social media, I'll see clips on Reddit and stuff like that. If there's something that I'm dying to see, I'll go out my way to watch it. But I don't watch the whole shows. No, the only shows I really watch beginning to end are New Japan.
Nice.
Love it. I love the commitment. So, there, man.
When we talk about WWE, you're just going to be silent.
Yeah,
probably me too.
Yeah.
It's okay. You're not missing much for it. So we understand. You're doing yourself a favor.
Yeah, that's the way I look at it.
Exactly. I have gray hairs from keeping up with WWE. But we don't have too much news this week, top news when it comes to WWE. But of course, we're gonna start things off by cutting out everyone who, you know, follows the channel, follows us on social media. We appreciate everyone who's joining us live, watching on demand. Of course, you can send your super chat donations. That's the best way to help out the channel, help Tru Heel Heat grow, help out our contributors. We are a self-funded channel, so that's the best way to show your support. And of course, drop the thumbs up on this video, share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. We got the Negro Buck, Nick Jackson says it's Saturday, and you know what that means. We're live, pal. The whole gang is back together. Indeed, CM kind of echoing that, saying the best JJ. Shade to Drunk Guy, but the best JJ and Krssi is here with us.
No lies detected. I'm just saying, no lies detected.
She's not wrong at all, though, friend. I'm just saying.
Well,
OG's in the house, baby.
That shade is deep. We got the Negro Buck who says my man JJ, and he also welcome to the show Ciaran. So everyone is happy to see our good brother here with us, and we're happy for everyone who's joining us. We got to shout out our Tru Heel roll call. First of all, our top 3 conversation starters from the Tru Heel Heat group page. We got Ted Williams, Stewie Palmer, and of course the Negro Buck Nick Jackson. Our Patreon backers also includes Nick Jackson, Vala B, Alan Weinstein, Alex McCarthy, Professor Chris, Austin K, Slam and Sammy Joe, You My Boy Blue, Yachty, Robert, Steve Salvage, Antoine Rutledge, 5th Generation Carney, Beat Boop, DJ Eric, Ladarius Brown, and John, aka Wrestle Scopes. So let's get into the week that was from professional wrestling, and I know we're going to have to start off with what was a AEW Dynamite that took you through the emotions. It was up and down the entire show as we started off the show. Well, first of all, they did 878,000 viewers on this edition of AEW Dynamite. So up from their record low ratings from last week. So that's always a good thing. But it started off with a little bit of a downer for Forbidden Door. The show kicked off with Bryan Danielson announcing that he wasn't medically cleared to perform at Forbidden Door against Zack Sabre Jr., nor next Wednesday's Blood and Guts. He also said that the one person he trusted to have a technical wrestling clinic with Zack Sabre Jr. will take his place before before Sabre Jr. came out to trash talk Danielson from the stage. From that downer, though, we got the excitement of Kazuchika Okada making his AEW Dynamite debut as he made the save for Hangman Adam Page after being attacked by Adam Cole and the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Switchblade Jay White. This was following Hangman's big victory over ROH alumni Silas Young, but the pop for Okada made it all great. It made me feel better after the downer that was Bryan Danielson saying that he's not medically cleared. We also had Christian Cage cut a masterful promo explaining why he turned Jungle Boy, saying that he wanted revenge for losing the Casino Battle Royale last year and using Jungle Boy to get paid. Then he went nuclear and said that he never wanted to be a father figure for a Jungle Boy, and JB has a father, but he's dead, and he would be ashamed and embarrassed to see him now.
Like, how you say that about Luke Perry? Luke Perry is like a 90s god. Like, this is insane.
Then you had Luchasaurus. He came down to confront Christian, but he manipulated Luchasaurus into giving him a chance to explain. We also had Malachi Black. He got the victory over Penta Oscuro to advance in the AEW All-Atlantic Championship 4-Way. Yeah, Orange Cassidy and Roppongi Vice defeat the United Empire's Will Ospreay and Aussie Open in a fun trios match. And you also had the main event of Jon Moxley and Hiroshi Tanahashi beat Chris Jericho and Lance Archer in a good main event with a crazy ECW style show closing brawl after. Ciaran, I'm going to ask you, what did you think about Okada's debut in AEW? And overall, what have you thought about AEW's kind of presentation of the NJPW stars in the lead up to this Sunday show?
I said this to my girlfriend. She kind of keeps up with it on the outskirts, and I just stuck on the Okada debut without telling her what was coming on the TV. And she got excited for it. And like in modern wrestling, do you think anyone has a better like surprise entrance song than Okada because of that coin drop? Like it's Stone Cold, the glass shattering. You know, people used to lose their shit. I don't know that anyone has that today better than Okada with his coin drop. Like it's fucking perfect for a moment like that. They're like just like him showing up in itself is a big deal. I don't think the moment like how it happened, everything was anything special, but just the fact it was Okada made it special. Like it wasn't an amazing running or anything like that. It's just that fuck yeah, Okada is fucking finally here, because we were starting to doubt if he was even going to be on Forbidden Door. That was a scary thought.
Yeah, it would not feel like a joint promotion show without Okada. Like I was trying to make excuses for it because there was the rumors about his wife's birthday and his wife being pregnant, and I was like, it legitimate excuses, and I understand it, but no, it would have felt hollow to not have Okada there. And I think that Jim Ross also did a good job with like both Okada and Tanahashi, where how much wrestling Jim Ross has seen, and he says these are two of the greatest guys he's ever seen in the ring. So I think Jim Ross and all the commentators did the best job of making it feel like a bigger deal. But 100% agree with you. That coin drop, I always tell these two that I have to do the inaudible reactions because my kids are usually, especially being here in the UK, so I had to do that.
Yeah. So you're seeing that debut at about like 2:50 in the morning. Yeah. Holy.
Oh, what about you, Tough Guy JJ? What would you say was the best part of AEW Dynamite for you this week?
As much as I loved seeing my man Okada help save this pay-per-view, that Christian Cage promo was fucking magnificent.
Chills.
That was the best promo of his entire career. Like facts on facts. Yes. Where the fuck did that come from, Christian Cage? You've only been in fucking wrestling like 20 years. Like, where the hell has that been? Like, what?
Preach.
Yo, he literally just took like your most fucking cynical Roddy Piper moment, mixed it with a cynical MJF moment, mixed it with cynical Chris Jericho, and just said, fuck it, I'm throwing my extra in there, and I'm throwing my little sinister edge in there too. Like, I'm going crazy here. Like, he went nuts here, bro. Like, I just could not take. I literally had to turn my TV. I had to just sit here and just watch this and just listen and just hear him. Yo, just the way he just hit like so many areas. The way he hit on Jungle Boy's dad. The way he said that he gave his moms the opportunity to apologize for giving birth to him. Like, bro, like what? like where? What? Yo, he went ape shit, yo. He went ape shit here, yo. Yep. So this was a really good episode of Dynamite to me. Like this was really, but holy hell. Like this here, I can't think of anything like off the top after that I would say was my favorite moment of the show. Because to me, everything else, if it was good, it was good to see Silas Young too. It was actually good to see Silas Young.
Yeah.
But bro, to me, nothing is overtaking that Christian promo. Nothing is taking that promo away from me. Like that promo was literally probably I'm gonna go off rip right top 10 promos I've ever heard. But that shit was magnificent. I
would say it's one of my favorites outside of MJF's pipe bomb from a few weeks ago. That's two of my favorite promos in the last month, pretty much. Krssi Luv, how disappointed were you to hear that Bryan Danielson won't be on Forbidden Door or involved in Blood and Guts next week?
It's sad because you get to another promotion, you're doing your thing, and then you get injured. It just sucks. And Forbidden Door he should be on Forbidden Door. He's one of the people that has been there. Like he's one of the pillars that should be there, and he's not there, unfortunately. So it's really, really sad that he can't be there, But I mean, his health is more important. He has a family. Like,
oh yeah,
I can't go. So I have to do what I have to do. That's it's unfortunate though.
I felt like being unable to see Bryan Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr. was a crime to my television watching. That was a crime. That was a crime that just happened.
Now we're going to talk more about who we think is going to be the replacement when we do our predictions. But Ciaran, I want to ask you, is it a crime though that AEW didn't have Zack Sabre Jr. come out with a mic? Because in my opinion, ZSJ has been one of the best promos this year. His promo after he won the New Japan Cup is one of my favorites of the year outside of Jay White after winning at Dominion. That's like the tops when it comes to New Japan. But him talking about getting knocked out by Naito and talking to Michael Bolton was
George Michael, yeah.
George Michael, yeah. Chef's kiss.
No, he's so entertaining. Like his backstage comments must see stuff like all the time. Yep. When Brexit was going on and stuff, and he'd be losing his shit backstage, and he'd say he lost the match because Boris Johnson got elected prime minister and stuff like that, so his mind was elsewhere. He's just so fucking entertaining. He's an amazing talker, and he always makes these like bizarre references, like, yeah, who the fuck brings up George Michael in a wrestling promo? Yeah, he made it work brilliantly. Maybe they just didn't want him on the mic. Maybe it's because at the moment he is still, to many AEW fans, he's probably still as unknown. Like, why is Bryan Danielson so excited to step into the ring with Zack Sabre Jr.? Maybe this is my bias talking, but maybe Zack Sabre Jr. would have outshined Bryan Danielson.
We love
I see what you did there, friend. I see what you did there. He did that.
I'm gonna give you the spotlight here for some heat, Ciaran, because I've been seeing you on social media, and I'm gonna give you the spotlight here. Give us the case of why you believe Zack Sabre Jr. is a better technical wrestler than Bryan Danielson.
I love Bryan Danielson, yeah. I absolutely. I just think Bryan Danielson has evolved so much where he's no longer a technical wrestler. He's just such an well-rounded overall. He does everything. He's brawling. He said he wants to be more like Suzuki. He gets down and dirty, roughhouse and stuff. Whereas Zack Sabre Jr.'s entire style is technical submission. That's it. Beginning to end, roll-ups, the submission moves, the counters, the exchanges. He's just everything beginning to end is technical. Whereas Bryan Danielson is amazing at the technical stuff, but he does a lot more stuff as well. So I think if you're talking just a pure technical wrestler, it's an easy decision for me, and that Zack Sabre Jr. is better than Bryan Danielson. Overall wrestler, Bryan Danielson probably, but technical, Zack.
That mic is so
He's
good.
1,000% right. He's 1,000% right. That take is spot on. Because Daniel Bryan became so much more of a striker. He's so much more of a striker that he doesn't do as much technical wrestling because he wants to kick your fucking head in.
Yes, that's just what it is.
If you was to talk about this mythical casual fan that watches AEW Forbidden Door, all this bullshit, like if you showed them a Bryan Danielson match, I don't think they're going to turn around and be like, oh, he was a really good technical wrestler. He was a great submissionist. They're going to be like, shit, he kicked the shit out of that guy.
Yeah.
Yo, has Zack Sabre Jr. ever punched anybody before?
He tries and he fucking ends up on his arm. He's a skinny dude.
Everything is literally joint manipulation, movements, leg twist, arm twist, abdominal moves. Like he's all over you, bro. He makes your body do things that you didn't even know your body could do.
Exactly.
And I love the names for the submissions too. They're just so out there. Like he's just great at everything. So I had to give you that spotlight, that opportunity to talk about that. But we also got to talk about AEW Rampage from last night. Really good show as well, which kicked off with one of my favorite matches of Rampage this year, which was Andrade El Idolo versus Rey Fenix. These guys went out there and did all the moves in an absolutely fabulous opener. Thanks to help from Roosh, Andrade got the win as they officially became La Faction Ignobles in AEW. Got the new hot t-shirts that are available on shopaew.com. You also had Mercedes Martinez and Serena Deeb continue their feud / partnership with a squash tag team win. Jeff Cobb beat Cash Wheeler in a hard-hitting main event. And then, of course, it's AEW. So like they did on Dynamite, like they did here at Rampage, got to have a show closing brawl before the pay-per-view because that's what they do. And you had Eddie Kingston come out and attack Chris Jericho. You had Chaos, FTR, United Empire out there. Chris Jericho was just hilarious.
The Wizard.
The Wizard. He's a wizard. He was hilarious as always. Miss Krssi Luv, what was the highlight for Rampage for you last night?
I didn't see because I was recording for SmackDown. Sorry, friends.
Oh, poor thing. I'm sorry you had to
I had to
miss
suffer
that,
for SmackDown, so I didn't see it. I apologize, guys. Sorry. I saw highlights, but I didn't watch it.
If there's one thing you should see from that show was Jeff Cobb. You should see that. You need to see that match. That match. And listen, man, this is gonna happen for the rest of my life. But I feel like I always mix up Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood. I think it was Cash Wheeler. I believe it was Cash Wheeler. Like I swear to God, I mixed them two up more than I fucking mixed up twins. And they're not twins. But I was like, which one is fucking Cash and Dax? And I fucking have to remember fucking bald head Dax. that's
Mullet Cash.
Yeah, but that match was really, really good to watch on Rampage. It was a good match to watch on Rampage. That was definitely a Dynamite quality match on Rampage.
Cool.
Yes, I love the show closing brawl. That one was much better than the Dynamite one for me. I'm sorry, Moxley and Tanahashi standing in the ring too long to not even hit each other while all that chaos was going on.
I feel like they've been doing that a lot though lately. They just stare at each other. They don't.
But with Tata and Moxley, but they do that show closing brawl for every single pay-per-view. Ciaran, being a New Japan fan, what's your thoughts on this whole AAA CMLL, which is the reason why we got Andrade versus Rey Fenix on this show, is because Andrade couldn't be at Forbidden Door. He was supposed to verse Will Ospreay. Another match that I wish was on this Forbidden Door card. It would have been excellent, but they were forced off because of their relationship with AAA. What's your thoughts being an NJPW fan for what I've been calling the Bloods and the Crips of professional wrestling, AAA and CMLL?
It just sucks. Like it's extending to a Dragon Ryu Lee as well, isn't it? He said on Twitter that's why he hasn't been in New Japan as well. Like the guy was in Liger's retirement match for God's sake, and then the pandemic hit, and he hasn't been back because of the pandemic and seemingly because of this relationship issues. But Andrade versus Ospreay, that's a dream match that nobody would have thought about a few years ago when Andrade was in NXT. And of course, Los Ingobernables de Japón started with this new guy. They're now bringing that back to AEW. All the links are there for the LIJ guys. You got Shingo and Hiromu at Forbidden Door. Could have been teaming up with Rush and Andrade instead, but it's just sucked. There's so much dream match for Andrade. He's got so much history of New Japan as well. He beat Shinsuke Nakamura for the IWGP and the Continental Championship once upon a time. He's been in the G1 Climax. He would fit in like a glove back in New Japan, and it's just it's shit.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate. I'm so mad at this because it's politics involved in something that should be very special for the fans, but unfortunately, it has to be this way.
I've been saying some kind of way. That's why.
Yeah, I've been saying, though, the most glaring name from New Japan that is not involved at Forbidden Door is Tetsuya Naito. Am I correct to think that that's because of the eye surgery he recently had, Karen?
I mean, he has wrestled since. So he was on the shows at Korakuen and stuff. Granted, they were just multi-man tag matches, but I don't know. I think one thing is that we often forget as fans is that this is going to be the first of many joint shows. Let's not blow our load all at once,
Right. You can't give them everything.
Exactly, because then what's left? So you've got Naito in your back pocket still. Obviously Ibushi is a very different story, but you've got an Ibushi come back into the States at some point in your back pocket as well as other guys that I can't think of off the top of my head. But yeah, maybe it's just a case of not wanting to put everything on this one card because where considering what the card is, where do you put Naito in there rather than just in a tag match?
True. Like I wanted Naito to be involved with Andrade and Rush in some way because that would have been a nice callback to their history, but because of this whole politics, we couldn't even get that either. So So
yeah, man.
Not the go ahead, JJ.
No, I was gonna say I agree, man, but I agree fully. It's just that's the opinion that I jumped on there for 5 minutes when I was on my way to work last week. I just feel like so much is missing from this show. There's so much missing. And I understand that there's going to be more, but I feel like there's too many good elements missing, too many of them. The fact show? That, immediately, there's no Naito, there's no Kota Ibushi, there's no Kenny Omega, there's no CM Punk, there's no Bryan Danielson. There's just so much not here.
There's no so what you're saying is there's no seasoning there's nothing on the stuff is bland.
Yeah, this
no, I wouldn't say it's bland. I think
salt. There's salt. No, there's some salt and pepper on there, but we're missing. Yeah, you ain't got that. You ain't got no sazon. You ain't got no adobo. You ain't got no fucking you ain't got no oregano. You're missing the extra garlic. You know what I mean? You're missing all the other shit. But it's still gonna be a fantastic show. But I just feel like there's so many elements missing.
Well, we're gonna be watching tomorrow on the watch along.
Well, hell yeah, I'm watching this shit tomorrow. That doesn't mean I ain't watching.
Of course, we're going to give our predictions to end this show as well. But also last night, you had WWE SmackDown, Krissi's favorite show of the week, right? Right, Krssi? Your favorite show of the week, huh? Yep. I know it because you review it every single week.
Is this why you didn't see Rampage?
Yeah, that's what I said. Aren't you listening, friend?
For this bullshit?
Yes. This is because he wants to record right when it's afterwards, and then by the time it's finished, I forget to even turn the show on because I done talked about it already. So.
Nah, bro, you got to make a rule and be like, we need to record at 11.
Well, exactly. I would like to do that. Now, in hindsight, yes, but
it's only a few minutes. It's only a few minutes, Yeah.
It's only, So there you go.
This shit here.
They had Drew McIntyre and Sheamus defeat the Usos to officially qualify for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match after Paul Heyman used his influence to get them out of the match to start the show. You also had Sami Zayn beat Shinsuke Nakamura to qualify for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match as well, as he's trying to protect the Money in the Bank from Roman Reigns. You also had Natalya come out dressed like Ronda Rousey.
Better than Ronda Rousey. So much better.
To talk trash about her Money in the Bank opener. But then she got ethered by Ronda, who said the closest that she's ever come to a top spot is dressing like her. That was mean. That was mean.
All of this.
No lies.
You had Shotzi Blackheart defeat Tamina to qualify for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and also you had the Viking Raiders return as by attacking Dancing Shanky and the New Day to officially turn heel. Miss Krssi Luv, what was your highlight from the show last night?
Definitely wasn't the Viking Raiders. There's no highlight, friend. Why would you even do that to me?
That's funny. That's funny as fuck.
As I described on our review last night, SmackDown was a very soggy sandwich. You know how you used to go on a school trip, you go to bite your sandwich at it's lunchtime and the stuff starts to slide right out. Very soggy. The cheese is all melted now. It's really nasty. It's disgusting. Have the guys go against the Usos didn't make no sense to me whatsoever. Best part for me, the highlight was definitely has to be Natty. Dress better, look better. Whoever did her makeup better than Ronda. Awesome. Stroller and all, but she did get ethered a little bit. I hope Natty wrote this promo and, talked about her boobs and everything and just say, she's only relevant. I hope she did that and because she makes fun of her own self. But top well done notch for Natty to do this, even though we know she's going to lose. You take your L and you're going to get your Twitter fingers together and you still take your loss. Love it.
There you go.
That's it.
You found the way to compliment Ronda Rousey segment without complimenting Ronda Rousey. Congratulations.
Absolutely.
And there you
go, friend.
We also
I've made it. I know.
we also got to throw a shout out to the birthday girl, one of our favorites here on Tru Heel Heat, Wendy. Yes, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Wendy.
It's a very special day. It's Wendy's birthday, so wish her a happy birthday on social media, in the live chat, if you will, as well as it is me and my missus' 3-year anniversary. So I just want to mention that.
Oh, happy anniversary, guys.
Did you do it?
Thank you. Huh?
It's my way to overshadow somebody's birthday.
Right.
That's some typical Tru Heel shit. Like, it's not only her birthday, but it's my anniversary too.
I'm a heel.
Right.
I'm sorry.
It's my day as well. Stop it.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Make it about them.
We got a shout out this past weekend. Last weekend we had Impact Slammiversary, which celebrated 20 years of Impact Wrestling. Before I get into the show, I just want to ask Ciaran, as an NJPW fan, have you ever forgiven Impact TNA for what they did to Okada? I got reminded of that this week.
Yeah, it was before my time, to be fair. It's just that, like, now in hindsight, it's comical, isn't it? The way because knowing how Okada turned out and everything. So the story is Okada was on an excursion at Impact TNA, whatever the fuck it was back then. And they just had him losing in stupid matches. They gave him horrible gimmicks. Like, he really didn't enjoy his time there. And New Japan were furious that they treated Okada like this because they had big plans for him since day one. So that's why, rumor has it, that for a long time, that's why New Japan refused to work with Impact anymore. Obviously, got it. Water under the bridge now, but yeah, they were like, "You mess with our boy, fuck you."
Right. I mean, I would do the same thing.
As Eddie Kingston would say.
Yeah.
Look at Top Guy.
That's why I want.
He's like, yeah.
At least we know WWE ain't the only company that fucks talent up.
But not a lot of people thought Impact would be here 20 years later, so we gotta.
That's a fact too. That's a fact too.
Even if they got 12 people in the audience, it's okay.
They had 5.
The fact that they survived the Hulk Hogan era, props to them. Props to them.
Josh Alexander defeated Eric Young in a great main event on this show to retain the Impact World title. We also saw the first ever Queen of the Mountain matchup with Jordynne Grace becoming a 2-time Impact Knockouts champion, defeating Tasha Steelz, Deonna Purrazzo, Chelsea Green, and Mia Yim. We also had my boy Speedball, the Speedball.
Oh,
yes,
oh my
Speedball,
God.
Mike Bailey is the new X Division champion as he defeated Ace Austin, Alex Zane, Kenny King, Andrew Everett, and Trey Miguel to win the Impact X Division championship. Yes. In an awesome Ultimate X match. The Good Brothers, talking about New Japan, the Good Brothers beat the Briscoes to win. to win the Impact World Tag Team Championships. Another new champion saw Rosemary and Taya Valkyrie beat the Influence to become the new Knockouts Tag Team Champions. Sami Callihan defeated Moose in a brutal Monsters Ball match. And then the topper on the cake for me was all the video matches. They did a video package for Mike Today and Don West, a video package for Bob Ryder, for Jeff Jarrett, and then we had special video messages from AEW's own Sting, the WWE Hall of Famer Kurt Angle, and WWE current star, the GOAT of Impact Wrestling, AJ Styles. I gotta give it, I did not expect that from WWE to allow AJ to do that, but he needed to be a part of the show. But some fans wondered why Samoa Joe didn't appear or submit a video for the show. In a post on Twitter, Joe explained his absence, saying, and I quote, "Dearest crackling hens, I wasn't asked or available, and it should not matter. A great milestone set by Impact. Happy anniversary and my best going forward to all involved." And to talk about the business of the show, this year's Impact Slammiversary, according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, pulled in around 1,200 to 1,400 pay-per-view TV buys. That was better than last year's edition, which had Kenny Omega on the show. While cable numbers were pretty bad, dish numbers were around 80% of the total, which is said to be highly unusual. The numbers are similar to what they did in 2020 and late 2021, but down to close to 90% from Hard to Kill 2021. And 22% of those who ordered Slammiversary also got AEW Double or Nothing, while 14% ordered at least one day of WrestleMania. And the attendance for the show, like I said earlier, was 526 people in Nashville, back at the Asylum there. So how surprised were you, Top Guy JJ, to hear that AJ Styles got a video message on Impact Slammiversary?
Does Sting have to thank AEW for allowing him to be there?
No, because AEW works with Impact.
Right.
Impact
so I'm just
the forbidden door.
So WWE has their slick way of having to involve their name in something that's as special for Impact as it was. So allowing WWE, thank you WWE for allowing me to do this. So spotlight back on these motherfuckers again when it's Impact show. Like it's that, like, they have these underlined and sneaky tactics to still have their name relevant with another company's shit. But it was definitely cool to see with you know him talk about his favorite match and his favorite moments with Samoa Joe and Christopher Daniels, how they changed the game. Like it was a great thing to see, because I don't think anybody expected to see the phenomenal one on Impact Slammiversary, to see him there. It was a cool thing to see. And then at the end of his fucking snippet, I want to thank WWE. It's like, God damn it! like you gotta bring these motherfuckers back into the equation.
He probably had to say it. He probably had to say it. He had to say
that.
I know what you're saying. Yeah,
that's my point.
Because Vince is petty shit. You know how Vince McMahon is. You know he's a scumbag and a dirtbag and a fuckboy, that he would make you do some fucking shit just like that. So that's what those fuckboys do. Fuckboys make you want to get fucked during your statement, get fucked up, and say this fucking shit that they do. It's so fucking annoying. I cannot fucking stand it. It's so
now you feel it. Now you feel what I'm saying. It's like no matter. It's like, yo, you gotta fuck. Now you feel. That's what I'm saying. You feel what I'm coming from now. It's like, yo, at the end of such a special moment, they gotta thank that place.
Behave really nicely in front of company. This is not how I usually act. This is not me. I promise you, this is not.
No, wait.
I am not. I'm not like this at all.
As much as we were on the same page here, this is not a fact.
What?
This is not a fact. This is not a fact. She actually sometimes is way worse. Her energy towards Ronda Rousey was very good today. She's usually throwing F-bombs and all the slander in the world. Let us not start talking about Eminem now. Holy hell.
See, that's not. Now you're making shit up. not a fan. I don't listen to his stuff because I rate. They put a rate up. Is my opinion. I just said that someone else was better than him, and they crucified me.
We don't need to go down the M rabbit hole.
We're on a time frame. Stop it, JJ. See, this is your fault. Stop this. Stop it right now.
I accept the blame proudly. I accept it proudly. I haven't seen you guys for a full show in over a month. I'm proud to take an extra 5 minutes of your time to talk shit. Absolutely.
Steering the pot as only JJ can. Karen, what was our
carry the hell on?
How happy were you that Speedball Mike Bailey won the X Division championship? I mean, he's been my independent wrestler of the year, one of the best wrestlers of this year. We got Nick Jackson saying, yes, Speedball. He's having a hot girl summer, as Krssi would say. But what was your thoughts, Karen?
Yeah, no, I agree. Speedball is a if he carries on, he's the guaranteed independent wrestler of the year for sure. Should be in the shout for just wrestler of the year, full stop. I haven't actually watched the match. I do really want to. But yeah, no, I absolutely fucking adore Speedball. I interviewed him a couple of weeks ago before Slammiversary for Wrestle In. He's such a good guy. When he was over in the UK, we went and got a Nando's together with some of the LA Dojo boys. He was telling me some telling me some stories and stuff like that, which was probably shouldn't repeat on air. But yeah, no, he's the best dude. I'm so chuffed for him to be an Impact because he's taking a bet on himself going Impact, right? Like apparently WWE wanted him, and he's fucking paying dividends. Like we're talking about him being wrestler of the year right now.
Yeah, I'm so happy for him, man. He's such a nice guy as well. So yeah, definitely. I'm jealous of you because I'm trying to get Speedball for an interview for sure. WWE NXT 2.0 this week. They did 637,000 viewers. Carmelo Hayes beat Tony D'Angelo in the main event to retain the North American Championship, thanks to Santos Escobar passing the brass knuckles to Melo. You also had Cameron Grimes defeat Idris Enofe as he gears up for a shot at the NXT Championship at Great American Bash. And we got the first vignette for the newest NXT 2.0 star, JD McDonough, who is the former Jordan Devlin. I wish it was Jordan Grace, but he winked with sunglasses on. That was pretty weird. That was I was like,
what the fuck they do to the Ace?
Wow.
That's the new Ace. He says never bet against the Ace. That's what it is.
The rebranding of people and their name changes is just godforsaken. Fuck boys, just fuck boys.
I guess we're just using that free.
Bro, the only good thing about NXT 2.0 is that Carmelo Hayes gets main events from time to time.
Yes, yep.
That's literally
on that show.
That's literally
him in the North American title is the best thing on the show.
That's it. Period.
But we also had WWE Raw. They did 1.986 million viewers, which was very much.
Yeah,
What the hell did they do to Pride? What did they do to Pride people this time?
Well, they had
Vince McMahon said he was going to.
No, he didn't say he was going to be on the show. He just popped up. Carmella defeated Liv Morgan, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, and Becky Lynch in a fatal 5-way.
Oh, God.
Belair for the Raw Women's Championship at Money in the Bank after it was announced that Rhea Ripley wasn't medically cleared. We also had Asuka defeat Becky Lynch in a very good main event to qualify for the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Also, Omos beat Riddle to qualify for the Men's Money in the Bank ladder match. And yes, we had Vince McMahon made yet another appearance on TV after his allegation charges to announce that John Cena will return next Monday on Raw, something that we
needed him for that.
No, we didn't need him.
They've been promoting this past 2 weeks.
On every show,
Yo,
not
bro,
just on Raw and SmackDown. It's been on NXT. It's just like, come on, sir.
Yo, when you seen that picture of Omos, he doesn't even need a ladder, bro. He needs
I was gonna say that.
He needs a step stool. Just give him a step stool. He needs a step stool, bro.
Like, why is he in this match? Like, it doesn't make. He barely wrestles. He just. Oh my god, it's just so stupid. I'm just like annoyed. I'm just happy that they're saving Rhea for another pay-per-view. They should have had it for SummerSlam. However,
they're not saving Rhea.
I know she's injured. I know, friend, but I would have preferred that match be, instead of being on Money in the Bank, be at SummerSlam, be at a bigger event, bigger stage. If you understand what I'm saying.
Oh no,
I
you're getting Roman versus Brock like 97.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
Game 7. It's Game 7 of Roman versus Brock. Rhea Ripley has clarified her injury status on social media, noting that she is dealing with both brain and teeth issues. In a post on her Instagram account, a user noted that she didn't look injured like someone said. She replied, "Brain/teeth, can't see a brain injury. Stop being incompetent and reaching at nothing." Ripley noted earlier in the month that she had to get some dental work done after a recent match. And of course, according to the latest Wrestling Observer News radio, actually, WWE does not expect Rhea Ripley to be out for very long with her injuries. She will definitely not be at the pay-per-view, but this isn't something that is expected to keep her out long term. It was noted that she would be back fairly soon. So that's the good news here. And
but unfortunately, that's Carmella. Great. Yay.
Something different. Needs a replacement. They always go Carmella.
They do, don't they? Though. Wow, she's like the Miz, or Natty.
I mean, everybody else gets injured on the men's roster. They got to turn back to Brock.
Pretty much. But we also had AAA.TripleMania 30 Tijuana talking about the Bloods of the wrestling world. AAA, they had Rey Fenix defeat Vikingo, Laredo Kid, Black Taurus, and Bandito in a spectacular 5-way matchup to win the AAA Cruiserweight and Latin American Championships. Dragon Lee and Realistico beat Matt and Johnny Hardy, aka Johnny Elite, in the main event as Johnny Elite replaced Jeff Hardy in the main event matchup at AAA.TripleMania, while Blue Demon Jr. beat Pentagon Jr., while Psycho Clown beat Valino 5 in the Roulette de la Muerte tournament. So I try my best to pronounce that as much as possible here, people. Try my best here. But AAA, very good show. Were you able to catch any highlights of TripleMania, Ciaran?
No, not at all. I just want to say, is how good is it that John Morrison's gimmick, like this little bit he does where he's just Johnny Impact, Johnny Elite. He showed up at Progress and he was Johnny Progress for the Super Strong Style tournament.
Yo, he is the pro wrestling thought. Like that, like he's literally the thought of pro wrestling, yo. Like he's literally Johnny everything, bro. It's like
Johnny everything, any and everything, yes.
It's brilliant. It's a great bit.
I love it. He was Johnny Game Changer as well when he showed up for GCW too. Speaking of GCW, they had a huge weekend with You Wouldn't Understand in New York City. Our producer Baby Seth was there. You had John Moxley defeat Tony Deppen in a physically intense battle to retain the GCW World Championship. After the match, Blake Christian came down to set up the GCW World Title main event with Moxley in Nashville during StarCast 5 weekend. Mike Jackson beat Joey Janela. Yes, 72-year-old Mike Jackson defeated Joey Janela in a surprising result.
Why?
And Ninja Mac.
This is the same motherfucker that beat Bandito in a match,
That's
losing to a fucking 72-year-old. Bro,
the highs and the lows.
Yo, these pay-per-views from last week was just horrible to the numbers, like just disgusting. Like this is ridiculous.
Krssi saw herself going down that prediction.
Down in the spot, and I didn't even watch them. I just down. It was just. I just saw the numbers. I was like, fuck this shit. Like this is a conspiracy. Someone set this shit up. It's okay.
Ninja Mac defeated Jack Evans, and then the next night you had GCW I Never Liked You, which had one of my favorite independent matches of the year. Will Ospreay defeating Nick Wayne in an amazing main event matchup. You also had Blake Christian beat Jordan Oliver in a great opener. Ali Cash beat LaFisto, and Cole Radwick defeated Ninja Mac in a very good matchup.
Those lights, were they literally directly above the ring?
Yes.
I believe so.
That's like a concert hall, basically.
What the fuck? Bro, they couldn't do no moves off those top two turnbuckles, huh?
Oh, they did. They definitely did throughout the night. So they did their best. Then you got New Japan Pro Wrestling New Japan Road. They had on the June 20th, TJP and Francisco Akira defeated Ryosuke Taguchi and Master Wato to win the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships. And then June 21st, you had Tomohiro Ishii beat Clark Connors to advance to the AEW All-Atlantic Championship 4-way. More on that later. Taiji Shimori defeated Hiromu Takahashi in a terrific main event to retain the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title. And then it happened post-match. Kushida made his return to NJPW and confronted the last man that defeated him back at Wrestle Kingdom in 2019, Taiji Shimori. So Kushida is officially back with New Japan. Notes for after, we had, of course, Tomohiro Ishii will not be competing for the All-Atlantic Championship at AEW New Japan Forbidden Door as he suffered a knee injury, and he will be replaced by Clark Connors, who lost to him at New Japan Road. And also in a post on Instagram, Kushida confirmed that he has signed a new contract with the company. Karen, what was your thoughts on Kushida's return, and what do you think about his prospects being back in New Japan now in 2022?
It's fucking great, man. Like, first off, just to go to that Instagram post on there as well, he shut down all the bullshit fake news. He called it fake news. Reports from dirt sheets saying he wanted to be a heavyweight or he wanted to join Bullet Club, and he said, no, that's all bullshit. It was fake news. So I love him shutting that down first up. He is a junior through and through. He's done so much for the division. Like, when he left, they weren't the best of the Super Juniors, wasn't headlining Ryogoku Sumo Hall. It wasn't in front of, these big crowds. It was, when he beat, when his amazing match with Kyle O'Reilly, one of the best matches in the tournament's history, was in front of a small crowd in, I can't remember where, but it wasn't in Tokyo. And like you said, he's come back. His last match was against Ishimori, where he lost. So you've got the story there. He's got this rivalry with Hiromu they can dive into. El Desperado is now a main player in New Japan. You've got all these new guys they brought in for Best of Super Juniors. Alex Zane is back for this next tour. That's another opponent. He said he's going to move to LA. He wants to work with the LA dojo. That's only a good thing. The guy's got a great mind. He's a great wrestler. He belongs in New Japan. I was very sad when he left. I totally understood it. He did feel like he had hit a ceiling. But now he's fresh. It's new opponents, new feuds. There's United Empire didn't even exist back then.
True.
There's so much freshness here, and I see people are disappointed that he's come back as a junior, and I'm like, well, he is a junior, and it's not a bad thing. Like, what's the good? Why do we want Kushida to just go up to heavyweight and get the shit kicked out of him when he could put on instant classics against guys his actual size?
I would just like to apologize to all of the ignorant Americans and the people in that treated Kushida the way that they treated Kushida when he came to the States for that short period of time. I like to thoroughly apologize for that, because the way they valued Kushida was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. Like, it's like the only Asian that they value 100% is Asuka, and that's all that matters. Like, there are this
another boy. What's the man that do the 24/7? Him, that one.
None of them. They don't value.
No, they don't value him.
They don't value him. None of them. The only one they value is Asuka.
He still makes a fool out of himself.
Asuka's the only. That's what I'm saying. Asuka's the only one that has value. Like, they just shitted on Kushida so hard. Like, holy hell. Like, what the fuck was that? He was there for what, 2 years? Like, probably. What the fuck was that? Like, that was like dog shit when he came over
here.
For
3 years, since
2019. Yeah.
Oh my God, Joe! Like
the t-shirt guys, whatever they were,
they would be so hyped that he showed up there, and then literally 3 years of his career just completely wasted. Like, completely wasted.
I know he couldn't wait to get out of that contract. Oof.
The way he came back at New Japan as well, I loved it. Like, I kind of thought maybe he was going to show up at Dominion, and then the match wasn't even, the junior title match wasn't even on Dominion. It was at Korakuen Hall, and they had this epic bout. They went, 30 plus minutes, which isn't going to be everyone's cup of tea, but it was a really epic. And like, you was really engrossed by the time it finished. Ishimori gets on the mic. He's chatting shit to Desperado. There's no English commentary. And Desperado stands up from the commentary desk, and you're like, oh, okay, this is obviously what's going to happen. And as Desperado stands up, like 3 seconds later, Kushida's music hits. So you're so engrossed, then you're like, you know, it's such a fucking good swerve. And of course, the crowd can't make noise and it sucks. And they fucking popped. And it was so good for Kushida to be back home. I'm so excited. I absolutely love to go.
Can I just hit a comment that's in here real quick, but they don't value Asuka? Are you out of your mind? Like, Asuka is a multiple-time women's champion. She's in the main event scene, like, all the time. Like, what do you mean they don't value Asuka? Like, what? like, what more are they supposed to do? Make her the unified women's champion?
In comparison to Kushida, who was on the roster for a full year before they even put him on a takeover, and then he finally gets the Cruiserweight Championship. He has a good reign with the Cruiserweight title.
Knows his facts. He's an encyclopedia.
And then they have him lose to Roderick Strong, and then they get rid of the Cruiserweight division completely. So he had no place for him, and then they did the whole jacket time, jack off time, masturbation time, whatever they were calling it with Ikemen Jiro, and that they could have done something because Ikemen Jiro is also talented, but they did nothing with that. They just used him as for Von Wagner. Like, it's very frustrating. Kushida is back where he belongs, and it's a different New Japan where the junior heavyweights are mixing it up with the heavyweights a lot. So for anyone who is just like, oh, I didn't want to see him go back and be a junior heavyweight, I agree with Ciaran that he is a junior heavyweight and he has great matches with junior heavyweights. So let him do that. But it's a different New Japan where he has the potential to be in the openweight division, be in the G1, be in the New Japan Cup if they want.
SP3, can I ask you a question? Yeah, you get the comment a lot online about people wanting to see Hiromu go heavyweight, Hiromu go into the G1 and stuff. What are your thoughts on that? Because I got strong opinions.
I think I'm okay with it only because I really I thought Hiromu was the best part of the 2020 New Japan Cup. His matches with Tomohiro Ishii, that was the best match of that entire tournament.
Okada,
I liked. And Okada, the match with Okada was really good. So I think it's okay, but I think that he is so important to that junior heavyweight division that if you take him out, it's gonna be even worse than it was a year ago. And a year ago, I was saying like they literally had Hiromu and the Pimps. It was like Gladys Knights and the Pimps. It was just Hiromu and no one else before they elevated El Desperado, who was someone I've been huge on for years. But that matchup with him and Hiromu in the Best of the Super Juniors 2020, that was when I was like, all right, he's a star now. Y'all need to go with him. And I think they've done a good job over the last year. But what about you?
Yeah, no, I agree. Hiromu's almost his entire gimmick is that he wants to elevate the juniors. So if he suddenly becomes a heavyweight, like it makes a mockery of the junior division. Like Shingo and Ospreay 2019 Best of Super Juniors final match of the year for many. They fucking put on a banger, and then they both entered the G1 climax. Granted, Ospreay went in as a junior, but Shingo went in as a heavyweight. He was always a heavyweight, man. What were they fucking trying to fool us with? But then Ospreay left the division. So, within the space of a year, the two top juniors that were in the final left the division. Why should I give a fuck about junior division? Hiromu challenged for the top title as a junior. Everything he does it as a junior. So I don't think he should ever be entering a G1 because why would he want to? He wants to put the spotlight on Best of the Super Juniors. New Japan Cup I appreciate because that's a mixed field, but G1 is a heavyweight tournament. So yeah, no, I'm not a fan of people. I'm not a fan of the opinion that Hiromu should go heavyweight.
And now with Kushida being back, they have the potential to do what Hiromu's been talking about is main event of the night of the Tokyo Dome, because Kushida and Hiromu are the two best junior heavyweights they've had since Jushin Thunder Light. Like you got a 6-time IWGP junior heavyweight champion versus the only guy that has won the Best of the Super Juniors 4 times. That's just that if they're not going to do the whole, which they've been kind of shoehorning in these kind of like tournaments over the top title. If they don't want to do that this year, they have the potential to put the junior title in the main event at Tokyo Dome. So
can I just ask you a question? Like, do the people that be making these like weird like judgment calls, are they like followers of New Japan Pro Wrestling to just be making these weird proclamations of these guys that should be going heavyweight? I'm just curious.
No, I think you're spot on. I think they're like they keep up with it on the outskirts. They're not really watching it, is the feel I get. Because I feel like if you are watching it, like lots of New Japan is very nuanced in that, it's a lot to keep up with because you got backstage comments, and backstage comments can reveal a lot. But, not like many people want to go out of their way and watch it on YouTube, which I appreciate. But if you're just watching a match for the match's sake because Roman's a great wrestler, you're not going to understand that he is this junior fighting for the junior division to headline the Tokyo Dome and main event. So I think it's more of the people that kind of keep up because, you know, it's fair. Lots of people that watch New Japan full time when AEW came along were like, AEW,
but
let's go.
It's so ridiculous to make such a bold statement about where somebody should be in a division when you don't even follow the division that they're in to begin with. Like it's just like it's so backwards to say someone should be there when you don't even pay attention to where they are currently.
That's wrestling social media, isn't it? We're all telling
everyone
what they should
do.
It's
like, I'll watch a 1 minute Instagram video of this wrestling. Like, oh, he should be going for the heavyweight championship. Like, oh my god. Like, it's like, dude, do you not know that these dudes are like 170 pounds? like, what are you talking about?
It's just how wrestling has been booked for so long. They gotta like have their mind set to only one way to think about wrestling. If you're not
a heavyweight, you're not relevant.
Yeah, exactly. That's how they are. The last thing that we have to get to with what we missed was Impact on Access TV this week. They had Honor No More defeat James Storm, the Briscoes in a 6-man tag main event. And then they Pillmanized Mark Briscoe's leg afterwards. Josh Alexander beat Diener after Violent by Design attacked the Impact World Champion. Mia Yim defeated Chelsea Green after Mickie James evened the odds with Deonna Purrazzo getting involved. And then the notes after that, Impact Wrestling has announced that Jay and Mark Briscoe are no longer cleared to wrestle at next Friday's Against All Odds Impact Plus special. The Briscoes were set to team with the Good Brothers and James Storms against Honor No More. Storm and the Good Brothers will still be in the match and replacement partners will be made. The updated lineup for Impact Against All Odds is that 5-on-5 tag team match. They're also going to have Impact World Champion Josh Alexander versus Joe Doring, Impact Knockouts Champion Jordan Grace versus Tasha Steelz, Ravens Clockwork Orange House of Fun. I know our producer in the back just popped at that. Sammy Callahan versus Moose as well. So that's going to be an interesting lineup. And of course, we'll have Chris G and Ness preview that card coming up next week.
What the fuck is a Clockwork House Orange? Whatever the fuck that was. What the fuck match is that? What's that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Ravens Clockwork Orange House of Fun is basically just another term for a no DQ hardcore match. That's basically what it is. That's basically what it is.
Just on pay-per-view like last week?
Right.
They have like this all the time. They do this all the time. They'll come back and they only got like 10 people
at the damn show.
And it looks like the same ass matches. I'm just so
pretty much. They do this all the time. They do this all the time.
I feel like I'm being bamboozled.
Before we move on to our news rundown and predictions for Forbidden Door, we had a super chat donation here from Vala B. Thank you so much, Vala B. We always appreciate those, but let's keep those coming in. He says Nick Wayne is going places already, and he isn't even an adult. This kid is 16 years old, and he's having banger after banger on the independent scene. He is legitimately the future of professional wrestling. He's got a year and a half before he goes to AEW because they've already signed him. It's like a student internship where they've already signed him. When he turns 18, he's going to be a star over there. And that matchup with Will Ospreay, anybody who hasn't seen it, go out of your way to see that because that was something special. Okay. But let's get into our news rundown. We're going to run through a lot of these, but of course, Krssi Luv, Top Guy JJ Carrot. Stop me if you want to mention or say anything in regards to the news, WWE news. We got Triple H has returned to the WWE Performance Center to take on duty there. According to a new report, Post Wrestling's John Pollock reported on Wednesday that multiple sources confirmed to him that the game spoke at the Performance Center and said, "I'm back." It's not clear what "I'm back" entails exactly at this time. Triple H was, of course, a major part of the PC during the NXT Black and Gold era until he stepped away from his duties due to the cardiac event that he suffered in September. He returned to work at the office in March and made an appearance at NXT Stand and Deliver over WrestleMania weekend, just over a week after he announced that he had retired. Top Guy JJ, do you think that this will improve what's going on in NXT 2.0 with Triple H back?
He's got a massive fucking shit show to clean. Like, he's got so so much work to do. Like, even his imprint, you won't even see it for months. Like, you won't see it because it's so bad. Like, it's like he literally has to start from the ground up without literally just canceling the show for a month and then just rebooting it. Like, it's so awful. Like, it's gonna take a long time. Even if he's able to save this shit, it's gonna take a long time. And I do want to shout you guys out from last week, yourself, Stat King, Kelly, I believe it was, and Romy, Kylie. The dialogue that you guys shared on all of the WWE and all of that stuff that took place, like, that was literally a class in session. If you watch that, especially in that first hour, holy, like, they went into so much juice and meat and detail of everything that was going on. It was something to watch. It was something to watch. So if you have not seen Tru Heel Heat 180, y'all need to watch that one, because that one was one to see. Triple H, you got shit. It's like you taking the fucking. It's like you are taking the worst program right now, and you are the worst team in the league, and you have the 30th pick in the draft. Like, good luck with that.
Which draft, friend?
The NBA draft, the 30th pick in the NBA draft.
Yeah.
So typically, you're supposed to have the top pick You're supposed to have the top pick with the worst team. He got the worst pick with the worst team.
Yeah.
Wonderful stuff. But speaking of all these allegations that happened with Vince McMahon last week, in more fallout, John Laurinaitis is on leave as WWE's board investigates allegations into him and Vince McMahon, with Bruce Pritchard taking his place. PW Insider reports a memo was issued to WWE talent during Monday Night Raw, announcing that Pritchard is the interim head of talent relations. The memo also said that pending the conclusion of the board of directors' internal investigation, Laurinaitis has been placed on administrative leave. The memo promised a seamless transition.
Y'all called it last week. I'm laughing. Yep. Y'all called it. Y'all called this. Y'all called this 100% last week. That's why I'm laughing. They nailed this on the head, Joe. They already pinned him as the fall guy. And what happened What happened literally within the week?
But in companies like this, it's someone that has to be exactly. Do the quotes, SP, just like you did. Someone
administrative leave.
Right. No, that dude is gonna be fired. He's gone. He's out the door. This is it. He's a scumbag too. So, like, you can get out of here, fuck boys.
Last week was such a gem. Last week's show was such a gem because they nailed this shit. Like, they nailed this shit, and not even a week later, done. Done.
The whole thing needs to be trimmed and just take it off. Just take it off.
The Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that the backstage reaction to Pritchard's assignment of the role has been generally negative. Per the report, Laurinaitis had a better relationship with most of the talent than Pritchard does, which is what led to the reaction. A couple of talents noted that Pritchard is quiet and usually not approachable, while Laurinaitis is very approachable and open to conversations. Another talent said that it was a scary change. Fightful Select had more backstage notes. According to the report, the overall belief among Fightful's WWE sources is that John Laurinaitis is as good as gone. Several people reportedly even celebrated his pending departure. Past and present WWE talent also spoke to Fightful on the news that WWE creative member Bruce Pritchard is serving as Laurinaitis' replacement. One source is said to have joked Vince only knows 3 people with regards to the roles of Laurinaitis and Pritchard. Another person said that they had multiple texts from WWE talent over concern of Pritchard handling both creative and talent relations, and the concern is that if they want time off, they now have to ask the person who acts as the filter between the creative team and Vince McMahon. Also, several WWE talents believe they will never have to work or do business with Laurinaitis again after this recent move. And Vince McMahon, of course, was in attendance at Raw, and he was said to be in a good mood again last night, similar to how he was behaving at SmackDown. Hearing from the outside. Hearing from the outside looking in.
It's untouchable. They're not gonna do nothing to this man.
Invincible. That's what I mean. He's invincible, not invisible.
He's
invincible.
He's uncancelable.
Okay, got it.
Kieran, from the outside looking in, what's your views on all this mess that is going on in WWE over the past week?
I fucking know. I think it's funny that John Laurinaitis has a 5-star rated Meltzer match, which not many people know back from his All Japan days. But like, I don't know. Like, obviously the Vince stuff is fucking garbage. Like, what a disgusting human being. You know, like, fuck Vince McMahon. I don't know, man. I'm the wrong person to ask here. I'm sorry.
No worries. No, I just wanted your opinion from like the outside looking in, not just being focused.
I'm on the outside and I'm still looking the other direction. I'm not even looking in.
He's like, I'm not looking through that window.
They still will not hire a woman to do these jobs. Just saying.
What? Well, they hired Stephanie because they needed the figurehead.
Because she's at the top of the top. I'm talking about for like Bruce and them.
No. They need a domino effect of Fall Guys. Like, this literally set up. It's like, this is his ripple effect of Fall Guys. Bruce Pritchard, you're next. Okay. You're next. You're right there on the chopping block, bro.
Right. I'm surprised he didn't get chopped with Laurinaitis at the same time because they both do the same goddamn role. They both.
Well, okay. Bruce Pritchard is not involved in the allegations. Vince had the relationship with the employee, and he passed her like a toy, quote unquote, to John Laurinaitis. Bruce Pritchard is not involved in this. But supposedly. Going into all of that, speaking of Stephanie, the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter reports a special committee put Stephanie McMahon in her new role as interim CEO and chairwoman in WWE. The committee includes the 8 members of the board of directors that is also investigating Vince. That includes
a scary-looking motherfucker, man. Look at her.
Yeah, this is a hard.
Literally looks like the devil in a suit, bro, and she looks like
he looks hard, like he looks like Satan. Like this is a trash ass picture right here. Like the devil worshiping the devil. Like this is some bullshit, yo. This is crap.
Yo, you got me dying. Y'all need to stop. They do though. Those eyebrows. It's the eyebrows. That includes Manjit Singh.
Don't even match the tie, the shirt, the whole shit.
Nothing goes together. Nothing goes together, but it looks good on Vince.
Nothing. Oh my god, that is disgusting. Oh, I want to vomit.
Manjit Singh, who is the lead independent director of the board, is running the investigation. The other members involved include Steve Koonin, who is the CEO of the Atlanta Hawks and State Farm Arena, Ignace Lahirnd, who is CEO of Manjit Phantom. We got Eric Ladinern, Steve Pama, and Connor Schill, Jeffrey Speed, and Alan Wexler. No, I'm not going to try to read that again. Vince's decision.
One of the comments was like, amazing. You have to read Frantic World's comment.
Yeah,
that is spot on.
This
one right there. That one right there. If you don't watch Billions or Succession, you won't know this. You won't know the reference, friends. But they are trash.
We had a bunch of these comments last week.
Vala B is saying like Al Pacino and Devil's Advocate too.
Yes. Good. Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Spot on. The Devil's Advocate. Yes. Yes, he looks like yep.
Yeah.
It was
so messy.
It was Vince's decision to step down, but the board's decision to put Stephanie in his place. The Wrestling Observer newsletter notes that of all those who attempted to bury Stephanie when she went on hiatus, none of them were a part of the committee. And from elsewhere in the company, PW Insider reports that there was an all-hands-on-deck meeting in the WWE on Thursday as Stephanie McMahon acknowledged the investigation into her father, saying, "I love my father and I love WWE, and I will do everything in my power to keep things going in the days ahead." She said everyone is aware of the investigation by the WWE board of directors and that her father has stepped back, and she will do everything she can for the company going forward. And to double down on that, there is 5 different firms who have announced that they are doing investigations, claims of security fraud or other concerns of breaching financial duties following the investigation by the WWE board into Vince McMahon's $3
And this is where the
million
budget cuts
payment.
came in.
Another point that King brought up last week. It's another. It's like there's so many. It's so much meat in that conversation. Boy. I swear to God.
It's a lot. But I guess in more pleasant news with WWE, I guess they had 2 new champions this week from outside the main shows that we talked about.
I thought you was about to say what they canceled the show. That's what I thought you said.
No, that's not good news. WWE main event, they had Dana Brooke lose the 24/7 title to Doudrop. Also on that episode of main event, the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest faced
main event.
Ray and Dominic Mysterio. Yes, going really well since losing Edge. And then on NXT UK, Ashton Smith and Oliver Carter were forced to vacate.
R.I.P. to Finn Balor. Your career is over, friend. I love you so much. You are a great man, but you need to ask for your release of your contract ASAP. There's nothing left. Definitely.
I was about to lay it up for you, Karen.
He has to go back and be the leader of the Bullet Club and be
pay for the flight.
I mean, I will make a daggone what's the GoFundMe account.
GoFundMe.
Let's go. Let's get this man out of this chaos that is a career right now, because this right here, if you're on main event, my
nigga, what?
Your main event.
Y'all remove Edge to go to the pre-show of Raw.
Real upgrade, guys.
No, this is such a disrespect. This is so bad. Like, I thought Ricochet was getting the fuck beat out of him. This shit right here, trash at beyond fucking trash.
Y'all wonder why I don't watch WWE Weekly.
Over on NXT UK, Ashton Smith and Oliver Carter were forced to vacate the titles due to an injury to Smith. He ruptured a medical ligament and it requires surgery, so they had to relinquish the titles. And NXT 2.0 stars Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen won a 4-way elimination match to win the titles, so congratulations to them on that win. And in more good news for NXT, Io Shirai and Zoe Stark are expected to make their returns to NXT soon. Stark has been out since October when she suffered a torn ACL and meniscus in a 3-way ladder match, while Shirai has been out of action since April with an unknown injury. And the Wrestling Observer newsletter says that both women are expected to return relatively soon. In AEW news, here comes some juice. Let's talk about this Kenny Omega interview, Karen. I want to hear his thoughts on this one, as he spoke about making memorable matches, and he called out your boy Krssi Luv, Will Ospreay, specifically as a wrestler who has many forgettable 5-star matches, and he specifically compared him to
that's some bullshit.
Who he said was a star. On the rise of Jay White, Kenny Omega said, and I quote, "When I left, if I were a betting man, I would have put everything I owned in my name. So a couple of retro consoles and $5, I would have put that on, knowing that Jay White and Will Ospreay were going to be the go-to international talent that they would heavily push. Next to that, I knew that very soon down the line, the lightning, the bottle that they didn't know that they had with Shingo Takagi, I knew was going to come into his own and be an incredible force and be a talent that people would want to watch. It's really neat for me now to be on the sidelines, and that in one of our highest marquee matches, we've got the guy that I lost the belt to in the main event, Tanahashi, going against Mox, a guy who has beaten me and I've beaten him. Jay White is in one of the matches for their most prestigious bout against a guy that I'm very familiar with in Okada. There's Adam Cole, Hangman, the guy I lost the AEW belt to. There's a lot of history there, and it's cool to see that when I said my farewell to New Japan, not knowing how things would go, that Jay White did step up and did become the guy New Japan needed, and he became their box office superstar and became the guy you could base a pay-per-view off of, a guy you could put on posts, someone that when he speaks, you want to hear what he has to say, and you're compelled by what he has to say. Then on Will Ospreay. In a different vein, you have Will Ospreay. He can do anything. He's strong. He's fast. He's agile. He's a great representative for New Japan for all the dudes that are hitting the pavement and making the indie dates. He is their spokesperson to give everyone that current day 5-star match that we all know and love. Some of us. Different strokes for different folks. Ospreay, he's doing great in his role. Not my thing so much. Jay White, he's become the star that they needed. I can't say one over another, but they do work quite well harmoniously. A guy like Will, who is great at moves, has a list of 20 very forgettable 5-star matches. Laughs. I'm going a little too hard on Will. Will is great. I don't want to say anything bad about Will. Here's the thing. If we're being completely honest with each other, I do believe that with the current rating system and how things are viewed, I believe that Will has earned every last one of those 5-star performances that he's had. Do I think that if you go back into the works of some of the legends, I'm even going to throw my name in the hat? Even if you go back to when I was having 5-star matches, I was that sort of guy. I just think the matches from back then were more memorable. And as hard as Will is working, he isn't quite there. Will is there. I'm digging myself into a hole here. Will is there, and Will is great. I'm glad to see him in a marquee match against Orange Cassidy. I'm just saying that I think New Japan made the right decision by going with Jay White. He was the star of the two, is all I'm saying. He then compared White and Ospreay, said, when you're in a position like Will, someone who can do anything so easily, it's tough to become very satisfied with the cheers and jeers of a small indie crowd. Those little pick-me-ups, those start to mean more to you than focusing on how do I reinvent myself to become a company guy and an investment for $1 million company, like what Jay White has had to do. Jay White wasn't a freak athlete like Will, so he had to go into the think tank and come up with something that was marketable. Will, just being Will, gets crowds of a few hundred people cheering for Will Ospreay. He is satisfied with that. There is nothing wrong with that whatsoever. When Jay White went to the drawing board and he's looking at a guy like Will who can do every single high-flying move, who is younger, who probably has a more clean slate injury-wise, Jay probably thought, I'm going to have to think outside the box, and I'm going to have to come up with a way for this company to invest millions in me, to market me in a way where I want to be marketed. For Will and guys like Will, where things come real easy, he just has to do all the moves that he knows, and he kind of gets a false sense of, I'm at the very top and pinnacle of the wrestling world because I get high ratings from one guy. It's a tough trap to fall into. I remember when I got my first 5-star match, I thought, did I really become one of these guys? Then I grew up after 5 or 6 of them. Will, the first thing he does is go online and brags about his next 5-star match. It's 5 stars to one guy. It's maybe 3.5 stars to me, but it doesn't matter. If you're proud of it, that's great. I just feel that Jay White became the company man New Japan needed. Ciaran, what's your thoughts on what Kenny Omega had to say and his comparisons to Jay White and Will Ospreay?
I think half of it is him stirring the pot, kayfabe, Kenny Omega, and half of it is him being sincere. So you need to separate the true Kenny Omega from the character Kenny Omega, because no doubt he genuinely appreciates Will Ospreay, but he knows what internet does and doesn't like, and that Will Ospreay is a divisive character. So he's a smart guy, Kenny Omega. We all know that. I absolutely love him. But I agree, Jay White is just another level. To me, Jay White, since the Okada match, is the most important man in the wrestling world today, and arguably the best. Like that Okada match followed by the in-ring promo where he made a crowd that's not meant to make noise while speaking in English to the Japanese audience, made them cheer for him. Even though they couldn't understand him, he got them off their feet and applauding him, cheering for him, losing their shit for him. And then he goes backstage and cuts, for me, the promo of the year so far, when he says, without Jay White, AEW doesn't even exist. You don't get Hangman Page as the AEW champion. You don't get all this stuff. And it hurts if you're an AEW fan because it's grounded in truth, and that's always the best shit. You know, when the villain is saying stuff that you're like, fuck, he's right, and I wish he wasn't. But with this, yeah, Jay White is the guy for New Japan, and he has been for so long. The pandemic has just made people forget. Like, this is a guy that beat Okada in less than 15 minutes at Wrestle Kingdom. This is a guy that beat Tanahashi, that won his IWGP Heavyweight Championship in his first attempt. like I think AJ Styles done that and Okada done it, and they're the only two guys off the top of my head I can remember that have done that in recent memory. You know, guys like Naito had to challenge like tons of times. Evil didn't win it first time. Ibushi certainly didn't win it first time. You know, they've got New Japan aren't stupid. They've got all their backing behind Jay White. They know what he's capable of. And then in terms of Ospreay, yeah, he is more. When Ospreay opens his mouth, often your interest in him goes down because I don't know. I think he's just got too much British chavvy Essex boy in him, maybe. And like he's kind of, because of the way he's been treated online, he's probably got like a bit. Gets his you know, a chip on his shoulder, and he gets his back up a bit because it's like, yeah, he is one of the best in the world, but he gets so much shit online. Half of it isn't justified. Yeah, it's Kenny Omega working, man, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's Kenny Omega. He knows that there's money in an Ospreay versus Omega match whenever that happens, that it's gonna be the biggest thing in the world. And going into that, Ospreay should absolutely be the fucking heel. And Kenny Omega's making that happen. He's a smart dude. He's a smart dude.
Working 100%. When I heard this interview, and Sean Ross Sapp did an excellent job, Jeremy Lambert with the transcribing, they are great. And yeah, when I heard this interview, I was just like 100%. This is Kenny working towards this Ospreay match because everybody wants to see that.
Did you see as well? Tanahashi done an interview with Sports Illustrated, and he said like basically that Jay White is deserving of being champion, but then he was like, more than being the top star of New Japan, Tanahashi feels that Jay White can change the entire face of the wrestling business. And that's from a man that saved New Japan and like made New Japan what they are today. Undoubtedly one of the greatest of all time, is saying Jay White can change the entire fucking game.
Exactly.
Can I interject from a slightly different perspective?
Go.
Go ahead.
This is classic Kenny Omega trying to build up Will Ospreay to be a bigger star. And he's become so good at being both now, because we knew Kenny Omega as the great wrestler. Now, once he became heel, he became the total package. Like, he became great character, great promos, great mic work, great in-ring work. He has it all. Jay White has it all already. Jay White is the more marketable one right now. Breathe with Switchblade. He's obviously the catalyst of professional wrestling. The aerial assassin? The fuck is that? So Kenny knows.
To be fair, he's
I'm just saying,
the kingpin now, isn't he?
But that's what I'm saying. He knows that Jay White is already in high market value. He already knows he's there already. Will Ospreay, he knows, is the better wrestler, but has to do a thing to market Will Ospreay more. So like, he needs to do this as like not a favor to Will, but to expose that talent that Will has that he can't quite like push out to the television screen besides matches. Because if we don't see Will Ospreay's matches, we don't hear anything memorable from Will Ospreay. Kenny knows this. So he's going to take this and jab in the professional wrestling aspect with kayfabe, but with a little bit of reality as well. Because Jay is the bigger star. Will is the better wrestler. Now let's take the better wrestler and let's promote him and get him his flowers so everybody knows who he is. We all know who the fuck Jay White is. So we all know who the Switchblade is. So like, that is easy market value right there. So whenever that happens, moons are going to be pushed. But we need to get Will Ospreay there too. And we are going to throw shade at him to help get him elevated. So this Kenny Omega is, boy, he thinks on a different level than most. He thinks on a different level than most because in English aspects, he is trying to push Will Ospreay.
Yeah,
100. That spawn. I agree. Everything. 100%. Actually, I would say Jay White's the better wrestler, but other than that.
Wrestler, yes. Wrestler, yeah. Groundwork, yes. But Will has like it all. Will can do it all, and he's a much better striker than Jay White.
Yeah, that's the whole thing about Jay White. He's a shit striker, and he always gets drawn in, doesn't he, and gets put on.
Right. So Kenny knows what he's doing. He doesn't need to build Jay White. He needs to build the other guy that was holding the champion that nobody remembers.
Yeah.
Finally, in AEW news, in an interview with Talksport, our boy Alex McCarthy, Chris Jericho talked about the contract situation between MJF and AEW, with rumors of MJF being unhappy with his pay. He said on MJF's contract situation, after 30 years in this business, I've learned if it doesn't have anything to do with me, I stay the hell out of it. I don't really care. If I had an angle with MJF or if I was involved in the contracts, I'd be much more interested in it, but I stay out of it. It has nothing to do with me. Only thing I have to say is that a contract is a contract. If every athlete in every sport wanted to be paid more now, then what's the point of having a contract? You know what I mean? We'll see how it plays out. I'm happy with my contract, and I know in a year and a half when my contract is done, we'll have some negotiation to discuss. That's how it goes. Until then, I want to do the best performance that I can. I'll be rewarded for it. MJF is 25, actually 26. He has a lot to learn. He's not as good as he thinks he is. And like I said, if it really is nothing to do with me, but I'm sure he'll be back. 18 months is a long time to stay at home, and that's Tony Khan's prerogative. On MJF's prospects in WWE, Chris Jericho said, "Oh, absolutely. His character would be watered down in WWE. He's better off staying in AEW. But again, don't stick your finger in the light socket. You tell a little kid not to do that, and they're going to do it to see what happens. I'm not going to tell anybody not to go elsewhere because I did for years. I did it to come to AEW. I walked away from WWE. When I signed my AEW contract, Vince said, 'Can you get out of it?' And no, you told me to go here." Same thing happened when I left WCW to go to WWE. Miss Krssi Luv, what do you think about Jericho's comments there?
He's stating true facts, friends. Like, we all know this. Like, you have to go where you know that you can be a star and shine. And WWE doesn't see that until you leave and be that star and shine. They don't want you until you are the star. And then when you are the star, they want to have you come and then water you down, change your name, and make you something that you're not. So I would take advice from Chris Jericho because he knows it best.
Can I chime in with something that's definitely going to get me in trouble with one of you, maybe two or three of you?
Yeah.
You ready? Spicy, yeah. I don't rate MJF at all. I think at all. I think the pipe on promo, not whatever you want to call it, was fine. Nothing special. I don't think. I think Jericho saying MJF isn't as good as he thinks he is. I 100% agree with Jericho there.
Do you think he's overrated?
Yeah. I think he's good. I just don't think he's as good as everyone says.
Both sides of the coin are true. And so it's like MJF, we know, we love and appreciate MJF for what he is now. But what MJF is not understanding is that the value that he brings to AEW is not going to be the same value that he's going to bring to the other company, to the WWE. He can't be nuclear like that in WWE on a PG show. He can't do it. So how can you water down your entire promo and your entire gimmick to appease 12-year-olds that's in the crowd, to appease 10-year-olds that's in the crowd, to appease those 2 million and probably 500,000 of them are going to be kids. So to understand what Jericho was trying to tell him,
that Roman Reigns beating up who else? It was not too long ago. So yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, bro, like, you got to understand that, one, you already signed an extension. So I understand that you want more money, but earn it. You're not even 30 years old yet. You're not even 30 yet, bro. So I was kind of like on that MJF side for a quick minute, but then you start to think about it and realize, like, dude, you can't have that cake and literally want more money literally a year later. Like that, it doesn't work that way. Contracts are contracts. So work out your fucking contract. Earn that extra money. You were earning it, and now you drop this nuclear pipe bomb, which I hope, obviously, it seems like I don't know if there's some reality to it, but it felt like it was kind of like it was like a work shoot. But it's just like a dicey situation for somebody that has really accomplished nothing in AEW. So like it's a very, like, he's not a former champion of any aspect of any title. He has no goal to represent except the Dynamite ring, which is fucking dog shit.
Nothing.
He has nothing. He has nothing on his resume except fire promos. So you think you're gonna get bankrolled in millions from the WWE when you don't have a single title on your resume, bruh.
That's such a good point, because like if AEW were like, all right, fuck MJF, he's not got any, like, you know, it's not like, oh, he was a champion, he's going to be part of our lineage forever. Like, they could scrub MJF and no one would ever be none the wiser, you know. He's had feuds and stories, but yeah, he hasn't held titles, and that's a big thing in wrestling.
And all of these so-called pillars that he puts himself with all held championships except him.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you know, you think in New Japan, for example.
That's very true. That's so true.
They'll put up a video package at the top of the heavyweight title match and show who's held a title. And there's some questionable people in there, because Marty Scurll held the fucking junior title, and, you know, everyone knows what happened with him. So there's not much, but they're going to honor their history and stuff like that. And they're going to put up that quick picture of him for a split second. AEW can just be like, all right, MJF didn't exist. Sweet. Bye.
And that's how they've been doing their television for the last few weeks now.
Yeah, he needs to build that resume, man. You can't talk about I won out and you ain't got shit on your resume. It's like, bro, if I'm at my job, man, I'm like, yo, I want a promotion, but what have you accomplished? Oh, I'm number 50 in my job. What?
Don't work like that.
What?
In New Japan news, they announced the blocks for this year's G1 Climax 32 tournament. It's 4 blocks. A block's going to have Okada. Yes, it is. Okada, Toriano, Tom Lawler, Jeff Cobb, Jonah, Bad Luck Fale, and Lance Archer. B block has Jay White, Tomohiro Ishii, Sanada, Tama Tonga, Great Okan, Chase Owens, and Taishi. C block has Hiroshi Tanahashi, Goto, Naito, ZSJ, Aaron Hanare, Kenta, and Evil. And D block has Ospreay, Yoshihashi, Shingo, Finley, Juice Robinson, El Phantasmo, and Yujiro Takahashi. Any prediction that you have here for the G1 Climax 32 tournament, Ciaran?
I was, up until Jay won the title, I was fully aboard Naito winning, because his whole story this year has been he wants to get back to the Tokyo Dome main event. You know, he lost every opportunity he's had against Okada for the title, so now his really only route to the main event again is the G1 Climax. But with Jay White winning, it changes things, because obviously now Okada is a big contender to win. I think we could get Okada Naito in the final, because that's a match that has happened everywhere else except the G1 Climax final. So it'll be interesting to see if he does. I'd like to see Jay White win his block at the very least, because he's the champion. I think that's a nice little caveat, because we've got this new block system. And of course, the champions don't win their blocks, because otherwise they're in the G1 final. But he can win his block and lose in the semis instead. So that'd be pretty cool to see. But yeah, early predictions Naito, but I've not, like, you know, given it too much thought yet.
Yeah, my early prediction is that Okada beats Switchblade in the semifinals and then loses to Naito in the finals. So then you have 2 challengers for Jay White if they wanted to do the 2 nights of Wrestle Kingdom like they always do.
Yeah.
Impact Wrestling news, bunch of news for them with Ric Flair's last match they're going to be a part of on July 31st. That show, Josh Alexander will defend his Impact World Championship against MLW's Jacob Fatu. You're also going to have the American Wolves reuniting. Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards will face the Motor City Machine Guns of Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. Also on Friday, StarCast announced that Impact Wrestling Knockouts champion Jordan Grace will defend against Deonna Purrazzo and Rachel Ellering. Lady Frost has requested her release from Impact Wrestling, so hopefully she can find a new home coming up soon. And we got to say congratulations, as the wrestling world has come out in support of Impact Wrestling star Giselle Shaw, who has come out to the world and announced to the world that she is transgendered in interviews with San Francisco Chronicle as well as Breakfast Television in Toronto. And then our last bit of wrestling news, MLW just talked about renegotiating. They actually renegotiated with MJF during his time with the promotion while his deal was still going on. This was much friendlier talks than what we've been hearing about with AEW. So very interesting tidbit there. That was a Fightful Select report. And also with MLW, Parker Boudreaux, the artist formerly known as Harland, appeared at their Battle Riot 4 event as the number 40th entry in their 40-person Battle Riot Battle Royal, and he got met with fake Brock Lesnar chants from the crowd. So had to note that. And finally,
definitely a fake Brock Lesnar. Definitely.
Let's get into Forbidden Door predictions to end off this episode of Tru Heel Heat. We want to hear from all of you in the live chat with your predictions for the big show coming up on Sunday. Super chat donation here from Vala B. Thank you so much, Vala B, as always. He says, if you know Naito's desperate proclamations to make the main event of Wrestle Kingdom again, then you know he's my pick this year. That's why I think that's another reason why he's not at Forbidden Door. They basically put him in bubble wrap and saving him for the G1.
I like Vala B, man. He's got the right prediction. He's talking. Stephanie McMahon looks like Devil's Advocate. Al Pacino is my guy. My guy.
You got a fan, Vala B. You got a fan.
Nah, he's actually kind of. I mean, that would make sense of why he can't be at Forbidden Door, because he has to go to, do the G1, the movie, as I call it. But hey.
Yes, Karen. Miss Krssi Luv has historically said that the G1 climax sounds like a porno.
Yeah, very, very right. Yeah, fucking hell. I'm never gonna look at it the same again now. Thanks.
You change people's lives, Miss Krssi Luv.
You're welcome.
Well, let's do these predictions very fast. Let's do these rapid fire, as I'm going to do my best Excalibur impersonation here. You got the buy-in. Max Caster versus the Gun Club will face the New Japan LA Dojo boys, Kevin Knight, the DKC, Alex Coughlin, and Yuri Uemura. Who you got in this one, Karen?
I mean, I got to go Gun Club and Max Caster, because obviously LA Dojo has Young Lions on their side, and they notoriously take the pins. I want to quickly shout out the fact that Kevin Knight has probably got the best drop kick in the game right now. If you haven't seen it, prepare to have your mind fucking blown at Forbidden Door. I'm excited for him to get the big spotlight. And Alex Coughlin is my guy. When he was in the UK, he stayed here in this flat. We went and got food together. Nice. We celebrated my birthday together. He's the kindest dude in the world, and he's so fucking strong. He's gonna just throw people the fuck around.
Love it. Who you got, top guy JJ?
I'm going with Gun Club and Max Caster, because I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea who any of those other guys are on the New Japan side. So I'm looking forward to seeing this best drop kick in the game. I'm looking forward to seeing that, but I have no idea who any of those fucking people are.
Well, to be fair, I think Kieran can attest to this. The New Japan, historically, the Young Lions are there to lose. They're there to get experience and lose, usually.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Alex Coughlin isn't a young lion anymore. I think Yuya's probably on the fringe, but DKC and Kevin Knight are still 100% young lion. So, yeah, I would assume they're there to take the pinfall.
Makes sense.
Miss Krssi Luv?
I'm sorry. I have the Gun Club. They are on top right now, and Max Caster. They're hilarious. I hope they do vignettes and everything too. So I hope that
they're gonna get the rap, the pre-match rap for sure.
Yeah.
Max Caster better not put down my boys, man. I love the LA Dojo.
Yes.
Be kind.
Also on the buy-in, you're going to see the Factories, QT Marshall and Aaron Solo versus Chaos's Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi, the former IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. I mean, I don't think I gave my prediction for the first one. I'm going Gun Club and Max Caster as well. In this one, I'm going with Chaos. Miss Krssi Luv, who you got?
Chaos as well, friends.
QT Marshall's in the match. Of course, Chaos is winning.
Yeah, chaos all the way.
He's like, whatever. So
that's like the easiest prediction of the night for us. What will probably be the buy-in main event. This one should be good. It's going to be Swerve Strickland and Keith versus Suzuki Goons, El Desperado, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. This should be really good matchup. But I'm going with Swerve in our glory for this one. Who you got, top guy?
Oh yeah, I got to go Swerve in my glory, man. I got to, man. That's gonna be a damn good match though. That's gonna be a damn good match though.
Yes, for sure.
Let's see who you got.
Absolutely, Swerve in our glory. Yep.
Aaron.
It breaks my heart, but yeah, I gotta go Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland because El Desperado is my boy. I absolutely love him, and Uncle Nobu is great as well. But yeah, this will low key be one of the highlights of the show. But yeah,
like I said, El Desperado, I love me some El Desperado. I'm glad he's on this card. Now on to the main card. It's going to be an 8-man tag team matchup as the Bullet Club is reunited with the Young Bucks, as the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, the AEW World Tag Team Champions, will team with El Phantasmo and Hikuleo from the Bullet Club versus dudes with attitudes, or as I like to call them, Los Stinganables de Japón, Shingo Takagi, Hiromu Takahashi, Sting, and Darby Allin. It's Sting in a multi-man match. Sting don't lose. I'm going with dudes with attitudes. Ciaran?
Yeah, dudes with attitudes. I hope Hikuleo takes the pin rather than El Fantasmo. Love ELP. But yeah, what a fucking bizarre pairing who had Sting, Darby Allin, Hiromu Takahashi, and Shingo Takagi being a team on their 2022 wrestling bingo card.
Absolutely. Miss Krssi Luv?
I have Sting and the boys for the win. Yeah, Sting don't lose on pay-per-views, friends. And he's been missing an action
undefeated
for a few too.
in AEW. He's never
He's
lost.
undefeated. Yeah. So I was gonna go with Bullet Club, but then you made me change that and was like, yeah, he has not lost. So you make all the absolute sense, friend. You're always right.
Top guy JJ?
Yeah, so dudes with attitudes, and you're seeing a preview of the Bucks and Sting and Darby for the AEW tag titles here. Seeing a small preview of it.
Might be onto something there. This one is one of the more interesting matchups now. Bryan Danielson is out, so you're going to see Zack Sabre Jr. versus the newest member of the Blackpool Combat Club. So who do you think it is going to be, and who do you think wins? We'll start with Miss Krssi Luv.
Who is supposed to be the person that's supposed to be the
who is
the
Bryan
guest?
Danielson's handpicked replacement?
I got nothing for you, friend. I have no clue. I don't even know. Who can I pick from? Give me.
I'll start with you, Krssi. I swear
you.
to God, if it ain't Claudio Cesaro, I don't know why the fuck this is happening.
Right.
I don't know why this is happening if it ain't Claudio Cesaro. If it ain't him,
yes. Okay, I agree with him. Yes, for sure. It has to be. Who else could it be? It has to be. Okay, thank you.
He's literally a perfect fit for the club.
That's why you're my brother. Yeah. Great. What he said.
Ciaran?
Yeah, like everyone seems to assume it's Claudio, and that seems like the most obvious one. But then my thought process is that Claudio shouldn't be losing in his debut. But also, if Bryan Danielson's going to happen down the line, Zack shouldn't be losing to Bryan Danielson's handpicked replacement. So it's a very tricky situation because to me, Claudio is one of the best in the world, should be in the top title contention wherever he's wrestling. So to have him come in and lose to Zack in his debut, as much I like Zack Sabre Jr., I absolutely adore him. That's starting Claudio off like an uphill battle.
But dude, it's like it's okay for Claudio to come in and lose once and have an absolute banger. Like he's not going to be hurt by a loss. Clearly, that's been shown over 10 years. like we know we love this man. It's just that hopefully after this is over, because it's going to be him in AEW's ring, after the Forbidden Door is over, then he can start beating on the AEW guys. It's one night at Forbidden Door. Like,
I hope it is. I hope it is him because I love him. I just think it makes things a bit more difficult for in that process of who wins.
I'm also,
and it would make perfect sense if he would defeat Claudio, because then he would then tell Bryan Danielson, stop picking these fucking jabronis.
Yeah, exactly.
And I want you.
I'm going with Claudio as well. I've worked myself that this has to be it, and he's going to win, though, because he has to get momentum into Blood and Guts. Then you got, speaking of Blood and Guts, Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Minoru Suzuki versus Wheeler Yuta, Shota Umino, and Eddie Kingston. The winner has the advantage going into Blood and Guts on Wednesday, so I'm going with Jericho's crew because Blood and Guts, War Games, always works better with the heels in the advantage. So Team Jericho. Who you got, Ciaran?
Shota being here is pretty weird to me. Like I'm in the UK, I've been watching him on Excursion the past 2 years, see him at Rev Pro all the time. He's been hitting Greg's and getting him sausage rolls pretty hard. If you're a UK watcher, you'll get the reference. But I think the last few shows he's been looking like he's in better shape, and the American audience absolutely loves him because of the Moxley connection. But yeah, I agree. I mean, I can't see Jericho, Suzuki, or Sammy taking a pinfall when there's Shota or Wheeler that could take it instead.
Exactly. Top guy JJ.
Eddie Kingston doesn't win any pay-per-views, friend.
That's the other thing. Yeah, that's the other little caveat there.
That's
so
the
I know
other
you're
person
going with
Sting. Sting
Team Jericho
wins, and the other one loses. There you go. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, and I just want to be clear. I am picking Claudio if this is happening. I just want to be clear that. But yeah, I'm going Team Jericho, of course. I'm going Team Jericho, of course. I mean, come on, man.
The Wizard.
Eddie Kingston in a pay-per-view. It's the Wizard. He's the fucking everything you want to. The influencer, the Wizard. The demo god.
World Tag Team Championships and the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team titles will be up for grabs in a three-way. FTR versus United Empire's Jeff Cobb and Great O'Khan versus Roppongi Vice. I need FTR to win all the gold to set up them versus the Young Bucks at All Out for all the titles. The biggest tag team match ever. Krssi Luv, who you got?
FTR, Dax and the other man.
Dax and Cash.
Ciaran. There you go. See, I always forget their names too. See, but I know they are.
I want Roppongi Vice to win. I know it's not going to happen, but who I think will win? I maybe FTR. I think I want, yeah, I think FTR probably because they will easily get over with the Japanese audience because they're all in ring. They're just fucking great wrestlers. And I'd be excited to see them in the tag division in Japan.
Top guy JJ.
Yeah, this has to be FTR all the way. I know we're AEW heavy right now, but this card is going to dramatically shift very soon. But I'm going FTR for this one here. Yeah, this match makes like the most sense for FTR to build up with the Young Bucks in 3 months at All Out. Perfect sense. Yeah, but tide's about to shift pretty soon.
IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship is up for grabs. Will Ospreay will defend against Orange Cassidy. This should be an absolute banger, but I think there's no question Will Ospreay wins. Top guy JJ.
Exactly. The tide is already starting to shift because Will Ospreay is this should be a clean sweep for across the board. Orange Cassidy will have a good showing, but Will Ospreay takes this for sure.
Ciaran.
Yeah, Will Ospreay 100% with an appearance from Juice Robinson at somewhere in the proceedings, I think, because he's still holding the title. So
that is true. Miss Krssi Luv.
Will Ospreay. That's a dumb question.
Yeah, I just want to give you the opportunity to say it. AEW Women's World Championship up for grabs. Thunder Rosa versus Toni Storm. The only AEW versus AEW match on this card. Who you got, Miss Krssi Luv?
Thunder Rosa should win. I hope she does win. I mean, Tony, you just got here. It's great that you're in this. This is cool, but just slow down. Let's pump the brakes. So Thunder Rosa, and let's make her reign a little bit better, friends. That's all we want you to do.
100%. I'm also going with Thunder Rosa here. Top guy JJ.
Oh yeah, Thunder Rosa, absolutely. This match had absolutely no build up to it. Like this match.
It got more build up than Serena.
Her last night, there you go.
Thunder Rosa is taking this easy.
Ciaran.
I love Tony, but yeah, Thunder Rosa's got to win.
They're going to determine the AEW All-Atlantic Champion in a three-way. Unfortunately, Ishii won't be in this matchup.
Oh, wait. Yeah, Clark Connors is replacing. It's not a three-way.
I mean, yeah. I'm sorry. I interviewed Miro this week. I know I interviewed Miro this week, and he was just like, whoever that kid from New Japan is, I'm gonna slaughter him. So he made me feel like it was a three-way. He's Clark Connors, Miro.
You know what? I'm done with you.
Black and Pac. It's gonna be a four-way, for the All-Atlantic Championship.
Damn.
I'm going with Malachi Black here. Ciaran.
Yeah, I think Malachi Black too, just because Miro had the great one with the title. Pac is my favorite out of the four, but I feel like with everything House of Black, it lends better to them to have the title. I do want to say, I know we love Tomohiro Ishii and he would have been absolutely incredible in this match, but in terms of longevity and long term, it's going to do so much more for Clark Connors, considering he's in the infancy of his New Japan career, for him to get this spotlight. So I hope he does impress, because he's going to go in as a very big unknown for the AEW audience.
Miss Krssi Luv.
I'm definitely going with Malachi Black. I don't think Miro would win because he won the TNT title already, but he'll be great in the match. This would be good for Pac though. So that's my toss up. It's a toss between the two. Either one of those two should win. No one else should win this match, because Pac has been there from the get-go. So I would see them more so turning to Pac. However, Pac doesn't need it more than Malachi Black needs it more. So it's kind of like I'm going Malachi Black. Okay, fine. Sorry.
Okay. Top guy JJ.
Yeah, I agree 1,000% with Miss Krssi Luv here. It was a toss-up between Malachi and Pac, but I don't think Pac has had a big win since beating Kenny Omega. So I think Pac needs this more. Like Malachi has been there for a little bit, but Pac has been there for years, and he has not
that's
a
what I'm saying.
single
Right.
big win since Kenny Omega. I'm going Pac to finally get a big win, to finally get a championship. Like Pac has yet to hold any gold in AEW. This is his first. This is his first.
It's gotta be. This gotta be it for him. Yeah, he's gonna cry. Yeah, this got to be for Pac. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I know you gotta go.
Should mention what Kayfabe Tactics put in the chat. Yes, Jungle Boy is also injured. Another injury for AEW right now. Yes.
So
IWGP World Heavyweight Championship is up for grabs in a 4-way as well. Switchblade Jay White will defend against Kazuchika Okada, Hangman Adam Page, and Adam Cole. It's Switchblade all the way. That's who I'm going with. Karen.
Switchblade. Sorry, I took that on my turn. I'm so sorry, guys. My bad.
Okay.
If Hangman Page wins, I will burn AEW to the ground.
That part. I feel you, friend. He should not win. He doesn't even need this. He doesn't need it at all.
I'm not one to like get involved in Twitter like opinions and stuff because there's just so many dumb things. The most I'll do is I'll post a New Japan meme on someone's stupid opinion. But did you see what Meltzer said? And he was like, Hangman Page should it'll be good for Page and it'll be good for New Japan. And I'm like, where is the fucking logic in that? Like, where is the logic in Hangman Page being the top champion for New Japan a good thing for New Japan? There's
not at all. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. No, it doesn't make any sense.
Jay White, 100%.
So unanimous top guy, JJ?
I'm gonna go with Jay White, right? But I would not be surprised one bit if Okada wins and beats Adam Cole and Jay White throws a shitstorm at Adam Cole for blaming him for losing his title.
That's cool. Yeah, I've not heard that idea before.
That doesn't even sound bad.
That is actually a good idea. And finally, interim AEW World Championship, Jon Moxley versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. This match has been building for over a year, but I'm going with Jon Moxley 100%. Top guy, JJ.
Yeah, it's good to see the Ace Men, but yeah, Mox is definitely keeping that in the States.
Karen?
Yeah, Moxley. I can't say that Page shouldn't win the top title and then say Tanahashi should win AEW's fucking top title. But no, Moxley, of course, yeah.
Miss Krssi Luv?
Mox, the company man, will win. He's going to win the show. He's going to finish the show. Yeah, he's going to have a good win. Yes.
All right, that brings us to a close on our Forbidden Door preview and predictions, and brings us to a close on Tru Heel Heat 181. We want to thank everybody for joining us in the live chat. Thank you to Ciaran. Ciaran, please let the people know where they can find you. I have to sign off because I do need to jump on this other stream here before. I don't want to keep them running late. So follow me, Tru Heel SP3. Ciaran, your stage. Let the people know where they can find you.
At Ciaran RH93, add a 93 to the end of that. At Wrestle In,
Yes.
Wrestle INN, Fightful Overbooked, New Japan podcast. Yeah, that'll do. That's my shit.
Great.
Thank you, Ciaran. You guys can do the sign off. Producer can end the broadcast. Krssi Luv, tell the people where they can find you.
You all know me. You all know where to follow us. I know SP has to go, but I do Serving Face and Hill. We'll be live back again tomorrow. Myself and my tag team partner Stephanie Hypes will do Serving Face and Hill. Join us for all women's wrestling news, events, and everything for that. I do SE Scoops with Steve Fall. We do the SmackDown review. God help us for watching SmackDown. And then I'm here every Saturday for the flagship show of Tru Heel Heat. Follow me on Twitter, IG, and Facebook. It is Tru Heel Krssi Luv or just Krssi Luv _1. Top guy JJ. Friend.
Oh, hi. Yeah, I just saw some work. I get hit up by work like too much during this podcast.
I know.
So yeah, on Instagram, you can find me at Tru Heel _Top Guy JJ. On the YouTube channel, I might probably be joining this watch along tomorrow for AEW Forbidden Door.
Yes,
and when my schedule helps me, which I think I'm gonna be pulling some strings to get on here a little bit more. You can catch me on the flagship podcast with the beautiful Miss Krssi Luv, SP3, and some awesome special guests at times, just like how we had today. It was a pleasure having you here, man. A lot of good insights. I usually am ready to like hammer people with their opinions, but you had some solid opinions, and I'm like, I can't do this. I can't disagree. I'm gonna look like an idiot.
I'm gonna start a campaign to get Dave Meltzer on here so you can hammer Dave Meltzer.
Ooh.
AEW fanboy, huh? Fanboy. But this was fun, guys. The fact that we made the 2-hour mark, barely 2 hours, that's an accomplishment for us. So you guys can get back to your lives. We can get back to our lives. I appreciate the fact that all of you guys are here. So are we doing the sign off right now? We're doing the sign off.
Let me say thank you for watching episode 181. Please watch our watch along tomorrow, and we will see you next time for another episode of Tru Heel Heat. See you next time. Later.
Peace.